with a solid victory in the finals of the women's flyweight division, about 51 kilograms or about 113 pounds. Nicola Adams takes home the gold medal back to Great Britain with a good victory in a tough, close, hotly contested fight against Sarah Ourahmoune of France, who takes home a silver. It was a solid fight, just a good scrap all the way around. Adams appeared to control the first couple of rounds. Ourahmoune came back with a vengeance in the third round. The fourth round was very much up for grabs, but Adams managed to get nick that close round on the judges' scorecards, giving her a unanimous decision over Sarah Ourahmoune, and I mean just a solid victory overall. Man, it was a tough, close fight between the two of them. Adams wasn't able to control and pot shot Ourahmoune the way she was pretty much every other opponent that she fought. Ourahmoune was, had a very tight high guard, a little bit shorter than Adams. Good inside fighter, good combinations, and Adams definitely had to work for it, especially as it got into the last couple of rounds. But she managed to pull it off, with skill and with flair, and did a very, very good job overall in these Olympics. Pretty much every other fight, I thought she won pretty clearly. She of course had a first round bye in the round of 16, went into the quarterfinals against Tetiana Kob of Ukraine with a conclusive decision over her, 3-0 shutout, unanimous decision. Defeated Chan Ren of China, who, I mean, I thought she was a pretty scrappy fighter, but Adams overall still controlled the action for pretty much all three rounds. The first round she had a little bit of trouble, but once she adjusted, Ren was not able to adjust with her, and Nicola Adams wound up pulling off the victory there, sending Chan Ren of China home with a bronze, and then finally defeating Sarah Ourahmoune in the finals. Sarah Ourahmoune defeated, let's see, let me go back to her first fight. She defeated Zora Ez-Zarawi of Morocco by unanimous decision. A clean, clear-cut victory. Defeated Jaina Shekobekova of Kazakhstan with a unanimous decision in a slightly tougher fight. And then her toughest fight leading into the Nicola Adams fight was probably the semifinal fight versus Ingrid Valencia Victoria of Colombia, who goes home to Colombia with a bronze medal. Sarah Ourahmoune had a little bit of a tougher time with her, but in spite of that was able to gut it out, grit it out, and skill it out over her to get into the finals against Nicola Adams. Of course, as I mentioned before with the women's lightweights, the females in the professional ranks don't necessarily get quite as much attention or as much money compared to male pros and compared to what they could make as amateurs. A lot of females stay amateur longer because they get more sponsorships and endorsements and stuff that is able to fund a pretty solid lifestyle for them. And so it's entirely possible we may see Nicola Adams, Sarah Ourahmoune, Chan Ren, Ingrid Valencia Victoria, and the rest of the ranks here in these Olympics, in the next Olympics or the next World Championships, next couple of World Championships that will take place in the next few years. In spite of the fact that Nicola Adams is 33, so Ourahmoune is 34, so they're getting a little bit high up there in terms of potentially leaving their physical primes of their careers. But who knows? If Nicola Adams were to come back for a record third gold medal for the women's divisions, I mean, it would be a hell of an impressive feat and a hell of an impressive way to start off women's boxing, considering the fact that women's boxing was only just barely included in the Olympics back in 2012. It would be a damn amazing feat if Nicola Adams were to pull that off. And I wouldn't be surprised if she were to try to do so. Sarah Ourahmoune I think could definitely come back. She has a very aggressive style, fun to watch style, and a skillful style as well. But overall, I mean, it was a solid tournament for these women, women's flyweight division, not the girls' flyweight division. But I mean, they just did a overall great job. I was very impressed by the level of skill, determination, and grit that all of these ladies showed. And I think that it was very fun to watch, in spite of the fact that a lot of the times the females don't get quite as much play as the males do in terms of boxing coverage on television, on the internet, on major broadcasts. So, quick rundown once more. Ingrid Valencia Victoria of Colombia takes home a bronze. Chan Chan Ren of China takes home a bronze. Sarah Ourahmoune of France takes home a silver. And Nicola Adams of Great Britain, once again, takes home a gold. Pulling it off for the second time in a row. So, that's going to be it for my coverage of the women's flyweight division in the 2016 Olympics from Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.